everybody, this is Alici. I'm going to make some frosting for some chocolate cupcakes that I have today, and I thought that I would show you how to make this super versatile dessert recipe from Brazil that you can make all kinds of things with. You can make, like I'm making today, frostings or fillings for your cakes, or I've used this recipe to make dessert shooters for parties, put them in pretty little cups, added some chocolate sprinkles or strawberries on top. You can put them in chocolate cups, I've done that, and bonbons, you can put them inside bonbon molds, and you can make your own truffles with them. So all kinds of things you can do with this recipe that is very easy and cheap to make. All it takes is 4 ingredients. So the first ingredient is condensed milk that I'm sure you've used many times before and probably have at home. Then butter, just maybe half to a tablespoon of butter, so not the whole stick. The third ingredient is something you may not be super familiar with. It is table cream. And a lot of times I'll see the table cream with the condensed milk and the evaporated milk in the grocery store. Just called table cream, or sometimes you can find it in the Latin food section. Like I found this one under Media Crema is the name, but underneath it says table cream. So look for that in your grocery store. It's great to have at home because you can keep it in your pantry. It doesn't have to be refrigerated, and so it goes with all kinds of dishes that you want to add some cream to, savory and sweet. But if you cannot find table cream, you can use whipping cream too, and it'll probably be fine. And finally, your fourth ingredient is whatever flavoring you want for your dessert. So today, I'm using peanuts because I want a peanut frosting for my chocolate cupcakes. And all I had was salted peanuts in my pantry, so I'm using that. Probably best to use unsalted peanuts if you can find those. But some ideas just for you to have for flavorings, and you can come up with your own, that I've done in the past. I've used walnuts, which are great. I've used chocolate, cocoa powder, chocolate chips. I've used Nutella, which is really good. Strawberry flavored powder that you buy to flavor milk with. Chocolate raspberry cocoa powder. I've used that for my last party. And you can pretty much come up with any kind of fruit you want to add or whatever flavoring. Another thing to know when you're making this dessert is that all you need is really a microwave. You can make it on the stove too, but why make it more difficult and longer, right? It's quick and easy on the microwave, and that's what I do. It usually takes me from 5 to 7 minutes to cook it in the microwave, but it needs a lot of monitoring because depending on what you put in it, it may take a little less or more time. So you need to use a pretty tall container for your dessert because the condensed milk will rise in the microwave and will spill over if you don't have something pretty tall. And for today, since I'm using nuts, I like to put the nuts through a food processor and get them pretty fine because I like my texture to be kind of smooth. So I got it pretty fine there, the peanuts. You may want some bigger pieces in your dessert, and that's fine too. But that's my idea. I'll save these for last, as well as the table cream for last. So let's get started. Get the condensed milk in there, and you see how super easy this is. If you're doing a flavoring like any powders, chocolate, anything like that, go ahead and add them with your condensed milk. Usually a couple, maybe 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder or whatever flavoring you do. But you just look and see. I just go by the color and see if it's a good color that I want. But when I'm using nuts, I usually wait until after the condensed milk is cooked before adding the nuts. So all I'm going to add right now is the condensed milk and the butter. And like I said, you don't even need a whole tablespoon. You probably just need between half and 1 tablespoon. I'm going to use a little bit more than half here. And just break up that butter just a little bit. We're gonna put it in the microwave for a couple minutes to start. And then after that, I want to stop the microwave every minute after that and stir it and make sure I don't overcook it. So here it goes in the microwave for 2 minutes. Okay, so it's been a couple minutes and it's just starting to boil. And I'm going to mix it up, get that butter really mixed in. And the nice thing too about doing this in the microwave is that it doesn't stick to the glass, and then it's really nice to cool it or make truffles with it or do whatever you're doing and not have to clean up a whole lot afterwards. Okay, so it's back in the microwave for another minute and then I'm going to check on it again. Alright, still pretty liquid, but I just have to be on the safe side. Stir it a little bit more. And back in the microwave it goes for another minute. So that'll make 4 minutes. Okay, so now we're talking. Started to rise. As you can see there. I used my glove there just to be sure. So it's starting to thicken up, and it looks like it'll probably be ready in another minute. So it'll probably take me 5 minutes with my microwave to make it. I don't know if you can see, but it's still pretty liquid. We want it to be a little bit thicker than that, almost like a ganache kind of texture. So, and that's what it will look like if it had some flavoring in it too. This is, oh, here's another flavoring idea for you: coconut. You can put some shredded coconut on there. I would wait that until the end also, and that makes it good. All right, 1 more minute. Smells great. Okay, so now it's been in the microwave for a total of 5 minutes. I've been stirring it every minute after the first couple minutes, and it looks like it's done. Texture is good. I'm going to mix it up here some. It's boiling a lot, so if you see that it's boiling a lot and it's looking, actually it looks like I could have taken it out a few, maybe 20 seconds ago and it would have been perfect. It's actually maybe a little bit overcooked, but that's okay. You just stir it up and get it as smooth as you can. And here's how thick it is. See, it's kind of like a rich frosting already, or a ganache. And I'm just getting it smooth. So it took 5 minutes in my microwave, and that was actually a little bit too long. I probably could have taken it out at 4:30. It may take longer or not in your microwave. You just kind of have to see when you get this nice texture. Now it's starting to look shiny and smooth, which is just how I want it. And now it's time to add the peanuts. So I used a cup, by the way, of peanuts. Use more or less if you want, depending on your taste. I'm going to mix that in. It smells delicious with that. The peanuts and the condensed milk. So if you were making truffles with this, whatever flavoring you're making, this would already be a good texture for you to make truffles, and I might not use the table cream for the truffles. You would just let it cool and then make little balls with that, roll them in sugar or sprinkles or whatever, and you have your truffles. And you can also use this as a filling as well without the cream. So I've got all my peanuts mixed in, and it even thickened it up a little bit more. So this is what it looks like with the peanuts in it. Pretty thick, has a nice little color to it. And now I'm going to add my table cream. And sometimes the table cream has a little liquid on top, and for some dishes you might want to drain that. But for this one, that's okay. The liquid will come in and mix in the water in there. That's fine. Just mix it all in. You can use the table cream if you're making a dish like stroganoff at the end of or if you're making a curry maybe. I don't know, I've not used for that, but any cream that you want to, maybe a pasta sauce that you want to have it creamier, just add some of the table cream at the end and it works great. You can also eat the table cream with fruit. It's delicious with peaches or strawberries. And we're almost there. I'm just mixing it all in so that it looks pretty homogenic there. It's looking great. The color is beautiful. And now it's not as thick as it was before, which is why I said if you're making truffles, I probably wouldn't add the cream. But the texture will change once we cool it. But now this is what it looks like with the peanuts and the cream. We're going to let this cool, and I'll probably put it in the refrigerator in a little bit. You can even leave it overnight and just finish up your dessert or your frosting the next day. And then I'll show you how you can frost your cupcakes or use it in chocolate cups or different things. And now it's time to lick this because it's delicious. Alright, so my dessert has been in the fridge for a couple of hours while we were watching a couple of episodes of The Walking Dead. And now it's nice and thick. See how thick it is again? It's like a big frosting, which is what we're using it for. I'm just going to stir it up a little bit. And I'm going to use it to frost this little chocolate cupcake. You could also, I have over here a little mini cocktail glass that you could use if you were using it for a dessert shooter. And I'm going to use a Ziploc bag, a cup, kind of makes it easier, and scissors. So the first thing to do is just to get 1/4 of your bag into the cup. And then you can get your frosting in the bag a little bit easier that way. And we're making an improvised pastry bag over here. So we want to just cut a little hole at the end, and since we're doing a cupcake, we'll make a little bit bigger hole. If you were piping this into a little chocolate cup, you might want to make a smaller hole. And then we're just going to do circular movements on the cupcake. Like that. I'm not the best decorator of cupcakes, but it gives you an idea. You've got your icing on the cupcake. You can probably make it prettier than me. Oh, and you can pipe it into a little glass like that. Put a little chocolate shaving on top, or a little cookie. Personalize it, decorate it, and you've got a little dessert shooter that's really yummy. So there you go. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.